Hi ladies. So I hope that you have watched my diaphragmatic breathing video already, but today I want to dive in a little bit more to talking about your breathing and pressure management. So your pelvic floor responds to your entire system, including your breathing. So sometimes we may even need to just fix our breathing to fix our pelvic floor issues. Sometimes that's all it takes. That's why breathing is so important. And I've got more exercises that I'm gonna walk you through and how to improve that. So the breathing helps you to relax and lengthen your pelvic floor and muscles around your pelvic floor. But it's important to know where our breath is going and where it's directed. So that's when we get more into regulating pressure. So many times, pressure can be pushed down onto our pelvic floor, and that's where we're experiencing those pelvic floor issues. For instance, when you cough or you sneeze, something that's creating this pressure that's going down onto your pelvic floor. So it's important that we practice exercises that help us to expand our breath into other areas, and that all the breath and the pressure doesn't just come down onto that pelvic floor. So that's why we talk about diaphragmatic breathing, and we talk about belly breathing and 360 breathing. So it's both important, but that's another area where it can be confusing. So you've seen belly breathing, and I tell you to expand your belly, and especially for pregnant women, it's really important to send that air to your baby and see that expansion in your belly, because oftentimes that can become a really tight place for us and we need to send our air there. And it also helps with us to be able to birth our baby, sending that air down to your baby. But as you know, during pregnancy and postpartum, our backs can become extremely tight and you can suffer from a lot of back pain. So breathing is one way to help to decrease that back pain and helps you to regulate where that pressure is going. So in some of my exercises, I'm gonna help you to hone in on where you're sending your breath and how to send your breath to your back. Research has shown that back pain is actually related more to pelvic floor issues rather than being related to core issues such as diastasis recti. And a lack of thoracic rotation, meaning this area in your back is not able to get enough movement through it, that can actually increase pressure. If it's tight through there, it increases pressure down onto your pelvic floor. So your breathing can help you to really expand in that area, and some exercises and movement in that area can really help you with your pelvic floor issues. It's really pretty cool how the whole body is really related to your pelvic floor. The respiratory diaphragm actually mirrors your pelvic floor. So I want you to try this. I want you to close your throat and tell me if you feel pressure down on your pelvic floor. So immediately when I try to close my throat, I feel it down on my pelvic floor. Did you feel that? Try it again. And I felt like pressure kind of building up in here. So that's really cool, and that just kind of shows you how that is related to your pelvic floor, and that shows you also that jaw movement and pressure, stress that we have up here on our neck muscles can relate and cause issues with our pelvic floor. So if we're really tight and tense up here, we're most likely gonna be tight down in our pelvic floor. I talk more about that in my videos within my other programs if you're interested. So I also want you to try and notice when you go to pick up your toddler, or if you go to get your newborn car seat out, which is really heavy, if you go to get that out, notice to where your pressure is. Did you hold your breath and try to pull it out, or did you hold your breath to try to pull your toddler up? Notice that and see, am I putting like extra pressure down through that area? It's kind of a little check-in with your body.